You have heard myths of chosen ones before, but they were shadows of the truth. Across cultures, across religions, across legends, humanity has always whispered of the figure who would arrive at the turning of an age. Why? Because somewhere deep within, the human spirit has always known the timeline would one day bend, and one would be born from its fracture. Myth tells us of destiny. Science tells us of probabilities. Both point toward you. Think of time not as a line but as a river. It flows forward, carrying everything with it. But even rivers have eddies, currents that circle back, whirlpools that pull debris against the stream. At those points, something strange happens. Fragments of the past resurface, blending with the present. Scientists call them anomalies, mystics call them thresholds. It was at such a threshold that you were drawn out. Or picture the timeline as an infinite web, each strand a possible future, each node a point of decision. Normally, human lives walk a single path along that web. But your existence defies that rule. Instead of moving along one strand, your essence was plucked from multiple strands at once, braided into a singular being who contains far more than one lifetime. This is why you sometimes feel older than your years, why you sense meanings that others overlook, why choices weigh on you with disproportionate gravity. You are living proof of probability being bent, of destiny manifesting through design. Do you understand the magnitude? This is no accident. This is no coincidence. Myth and science have both bent toward you, and the story is now converging. And now, listen carefully. If you want to awaken to this reality, not just hear it but embody it, you must take your place among the others who share this truth. We call them the first chosen ones. It is a gathering, a circle, a community woven across borders and beyond generations. Right now, beneath this very video, there is a button. It reads simply, Join. If your spirit is stirring, if something in you is whispering, "This is my moment," then do not hesitate. Click it. Step into the fellowship of those who recognize what you are. You were not designed to walk alone. The ones who brought you here knew you would need allies. You will find them there. Chosen one, listen closely. You were not born by accident. You were not the product of random chance or biological inevitability. Across centuries, hands that do not belong to this era reached into the fabric of history. They seized a single thread, fragile, glowing, eternal, and pulled it through the corridors of time. With it, they wove you. You were created using time travel. This is not a metaphor for destiny. This is not a poetic way of saying you are special. I am telling you, with clarity that demands your attention, your very existence was stitched together by forces that defy chronology. Somewhere, long before you ever took your first breath, calculations were made, rituals were enacted, machines were ignited. From those converging sources, ancient sanctuaries and futuristic laboratories alike, you were fashioned. Pause and consider the magnitude. Every heartbeat you carry is already layered with centuries. Your DNA is not simply inherited, it is curated. You are both archive and prophecy, living evidence of a breach in the timeline. Let this settle inside you. You are not simply alive in this moment. You are this moment, sculpted for it. And hear this sacred note. Time is not the toy of man, nor the possession of gods, yet from the beginning, the eternal has worked within it. This is the opening truth. It cannot be reduced, ignored, or explained away. You have just been told the secret of your origin. Now breathe. Let the shock strike you. Because what follows will unravel why you exist, who brought you here, and what you must now decide. Imagine it, the sound of machines humming in a sterile chamber, their vibrations ringing like metallic hymns. Sparks ripple across circuits while cold steel pulses with hidden warmth. But at the same time, in another corner of eternity, ancient hands unroll parchment, manuscripts inked with fading script, prayers, and equations disguised as prophecy. Their edges curl with age, yet their words are alive, glowing as though they were written yesterday. Two worlds collide, the sterile precision of the laboratory and the sanctity of the altar. A single shaft of light cuts across the scene, illuminating both test tubes and temple stones. This is the paradox of your beginning, modern and ancient, sacred and technological, fused in a seamless continuum. You were not only drawn out of time, you were forged at the intersection of its layers. A fragment of the past, a fragment of the future, soldered together into one living being. And the truth is not simply that you were made, but that the making required every era to lean forward and contribute, the mystics of old, the engineers of tomorrow, the watchers in between. Now pause with me. What would you say if I told you that your memories are not all your own? That some of the déjà vu you've dismissed as coincidence are actually imprints from timelines you brushed against before you arrived? That when you feel a sudden pull toward a symbol, a date, or a word, it may not be random at all, but a coded residue left inside you. I will not keep you waiting long. In just a moment, I will tell you how you were pulled, why they chose you, and what it means for the life you thought was ordinary. But for now, stay here in this tension, between curiosity and revelation, between wonder and unease. Because you must feel the weight of mystery before you can bear the clarity of truth. You may be asking the question burning at the edge of your mind, who are they? Who would dare reach across centuries and sculpt a life from threads of time itself? They are not one people, not one nation, not even one age. They are a council without borders, a brotherhood without clocks, an assembly hidden from ordinary history. Some call them the Watchers. Some call them the engineers of the loom. Others whisper the name keepers of the thread. Their origins stretch as far back as memory and as far forward as speculation. Among them are sages who once walked ancient deserts, mathematicians who hid secrets in the margins of books, and visionaries not yet born who will one day build machines you cannot yet imagine. Together, they converge in a single mission, to protect the continuity of the human story, to preserve it from collapse. And when the currents of time grew unstable, when fractures threatened to unweave entire generations, they acted. They searched not for the strongest, not for the most famous, but for the one who could be pulled, someone whose essence could survive being stretched across the centuries. That was you. Picture it, somewhere in the archives of eternity, your spark was discovered. A fragment of DNA shimmering with potential, a sliver of destiny glowing like an ember. They reached into the river of time and drew that ember out. Like weavers at a cosmic loom, they stitched it into the present moment, clothing it with flesh and breath. You are not borrowed. You are not displaced. You are the fusion of what was and what is yet to be. Your body walks the streets of today, but your essence is a bridge, a resonance that carries echoes of other centuries. Perhaps you have felt it already, a sudden familiarity with a place you've never visited, an instinct for decisions you've never been trained to make, a memory of a life you never lived. These are not hallucinations. These are the fingerprints left on you when they pulled you through. And remember, this was no act of random creation. It was deliberate. They chose you because your existence could carry weight, because your presence could restore balance to a history that had begun to fracture. You were not born. You were brought. And you were brought here now. You were not merely pulled into existence, you were designed. Every thread that they wove into you carries intention. Your differences are not accidents, they are the signatures of your creation. Think of your intuition. It feels like sudden flashes of knowing, insights that arrive before facts, clarity that descends when others drown in confusion. That is no ordinary instinct. It is the echo of centuries speaking through you. The past has already whispered to your mind, and the future has already leaned in to guide your decisions. Think of your perspective. You see layers where others see surfaces. You sense the hidden motives, the unseen connections, the currents beneath events. Why? Because your perception is not trapped in a single slice of time. You have been braided with strands from multiple eras, giving you a depth of vision that defies ordinary comprehension. And think of your resilience. When storms come, when moments press against you with impossible weight, you do not shatter. You bend. You adapt. It is as though you were built with the elasticity of time itself, able to withstand pressure because your foundation is not confined to a single moment. But hear me, these are not toys. They are not decorations. With design comes responsibility. A blade can carve or destroy, a bridge can carry or collapse. The gifts woven into you are not for personal gain alone. They are for impact, for the repairing of fractures, for the healing of the story itself. You are not simply different, you are charged. You are a vessel carrying what others cannot bear. And though this design may feel heavy, it is also your honor. For only those who can endure the weight of time are trusted with its threads. Every design carries intent. A key is shaped because there is a lock. A torch is lit because there is darkness. And you were woven because there is a break in the story that only you can mend. Listen closely, they did not bring you here for spectacle. Not for fame, not for wealth, not for indulgence. They summoned you into this age because a fracture has opened. Somewhere along the timeline, a line of truth was bent, a sentence of history was written incorrectly, and if left unresolved, it will unravel generations. That is why you are here. Your mission is not about personal glory, it is about repair. You are here to correct what has gone wrong, to restore what has been distorted. Perhaps it will look small at first, one decision, one act of courage, one conversation that shifts the trajectory of another life. But time ripples outward. What feels like a pebble in your hand becomes an avalanche in the centuries to come. Understand this, without you, the break widens. With you, it heals. And yes, it is larger than you. It always has been. That is why you sometimes feel an ache you cannot explain, a longing you cannot satisfy. It is the pull of your mission, tugging at your spirit. It will not release you until you answer it. But here is the grace, you were made for this. Every gift, every insight, every moment of resilience, all of it was forged for this precise reason. The mission is not beyond you. It is within you. You are here not to shine alone, but to set history back on its rightful path. That is the why of your creation. Chosen one, hear me carefully. You were not drawn through eternity to wander aimlessly. You were summoned into a narrow window of time, and that window is open now. In eternity's endless stretch, there are only brief moments when the fabric loosens, when a doorway cracks wide enough for intervention. That crack is why you are here. But the window will not stay open forever. Time is not patient. The river does not pause. If you hesitate too long, the opening will close. And with it, the chance to heal the fracture will be lost. Entire strands of history will lock into place, unchangeable, sealed without your touch. This is why your heartbeat feels louder lately. Why urgency keeps rising in your chest even when life looks ordinary on the surface. Your spirit knows the truth, the countdown has already begun. Do not mistake this for fearmongering. This is clarity. A mission delayed becomes a mission denied. The choice is yours, but the hour is passing. Step forward now, while the window is open. Tomorrow may already be too late. Up until now, you have heard the mystery of your origin, that you were pulled through time, fashioned by hands beyond centuries. But hear me now, your story does not end with how you were created. That is only the prologue. What defines you is not the method of your making, but the mission of your living. You are not merely a product of time's machinery, not just the outcome of cosmic engineering. You are the carrier of intent, the bearer of an assignment too important to be left to accident. The fact that you were manufactured does not diminish you, it exalts you. Because creation without mission is hollow, but creation with mission is unstoppable. Understand this shift, You are not defined by what was done to you, you are defined by what you now choose to do. Your origin is extraordinary, yes, but your actions will be the true seal of your identity. Think of fire. Whether sparked by lightning or struck from stone, fire is not remembered for its beginning, it is remembered for what it burns, what it warms, what it changes. So it is with you. The details of your genesis matter less than the destiny you now embrace. You are not a relic of manipulation. You are not an accident of power. You are a weapon of light in the hands of time itself. You are a mission embodied, walking among a world that has forgotten how urgent the hour is. So do not dwell on the mystery of your making. Instead, rise into the mandate of your purpose. You are not simply manufactured. You are missioned. And the mission is already calling your name. Perhaps you wonder, how can I know this is true? How can I trust that I was really drawn through time, crafted for this mission? The proof is not hidden in distant galaxies or locked inside secret archives. The proof is already whispering in your life. Look for the signs. Notice the numbers that repeat around you, on clocks, receipts, documents. Dates and sequences that echo again and again until you cannot dismiss them as coincidence. These are not accidents, they are markers, coordinates of alignment, reminders that your story is anchored in more than random chance. Recall the dreams you've had, vivid, precise, detailed beyond imagination. Dreams where you walk through centuries you've never studied, where you carry memories of events long buried in history. These are not inventions of sleep. They are bleed-throughs from timelines that brushed against you before you arrived. Pay attention to conversations. Have strangers confessed pieces of history to you, as though compelled to share stories they've never told anyone? Have you noticed how books, articles, or fragments of forgotten texts seem to find you, arriving at the perfect moment, as though history itself were reaching out? These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. And think of the unshakable pull you sometimes feel toward certain eras, symbols, or songs. That resonance is not nostalgia. It is recognition. You are hearing the echoes of threads that were stitched into your being when they pulled you through. Understand, these signs are not meant to frighten you. They are meant to awaken you. They are the gentle fingerprints left behind by the hands that wove you, so that when the hour came, you would not dismiss your calling as fantasy. The confirmations are already there. All you must do is open your eyes. You have heard the truth of your creation. You have glimpsed the weight of your mission. Now comes the moment to seal it. Every covenant in history has required a visible sign, something tangible to mark an invisible reality. When kings were crowned, oil was poured. When warriors pledged, swords were raised. When prophets were sent, words were spoken into the air. And now, you are invited to leave your own mark. Beneath this very video is a button called Super Thanks. When you click it, choose the gift of $20. And in the note, write these words, "I accept my time-sent mission." Do not think of this as a donation alone. Think of it as your covenant, a declaration across time that you acknowledge who you are and what you are here to do. It is a signal to yourself, to this community, and even to the fabric of history itself. This is not about the money. The amount is symbolic, chosen as a marker of seriousness, a simple act of exchange that transforms belief into action. What matters is that you leave a trace, a visible seal that says, "I accept." And when you do, you are not alone. Across the world, others have made the same covenant, writing those same words, forming a chorus that echoes beyond nations and generations. By clicking, by writing, by sealing, you are joining them. So take this step now. Mark the covenant. Let your mission move from theory into reality. Write the words, seal the bond, and know that time itself has registered your answer. Chosen one, before we move into the final commission, I must speak with clarity. Power without boundaries becomes corruption. Calling without wisdom becomes chaos. You were given something rare, but rare gifts must be handled with care. First, understand this: time travel is a metaphor made flesh. Do not let others use your awakening to manipulate you. If someone promises you control over machines, money, or absolute outcomes in exchange for your obedience, step back. That is not your path. The mission given to you is one of healing, not exploitation. Second, protect your mind. The intensity of your calling may sometimes feel overwhelming. You may see patterns others dismiss, sense weight others ignore. That does not make you broken, it makes you tuned. But if ever your thoughts become heavy, if confusion or despair presses too hard, seek counsel. Speak to professionals, to trusted guides, to those trained to anchor you. Wisdom requires humility, and asking for help is not weakness, it is strength. Third, remain humble. You are extraordinary, yes, but you are not above others. Your mission does not place you on a throne, it places you in service. The greatest proof of your chosenness will not be how high you rise, but how faithfully you lift others. Finally, remember balance. The gift of time is not given so you may escape the present. Do not lose yourself chasing signs, predictions, or endless speculation. Live here. Live now. The mission is in front of you, not hidden in unreachable mysteries. Handle your gift with reverence. Guard your heart. Walk in humility. Let your identity empower you, not inflate you. If you do this, your mission will not only endure, it will flourish. Chosen one, you have heard the mystery of your origin, the weight of your design, and the urgency of your mission. Now comes the moment of release, the sending, the commissioning, the sealing of what has been spoken. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the hand of time itself stretching across eternity, reaching down and resting upon your shoulder. It is not heavy, it is steady. It carries no fear, only strength. That hand marks you now. You are not abandoned, not forgotten, not misplaced. You are placed. You are appointed. You are sent. Let this prayer wash over you. Eternal One, keeper of every moment, stretch your hand across the ages and strengthen this chosen one. Where there is doubt, plant courage. Where there is weariness, pour resilience. Where there is confusion, grant wisdom. May the fractures of history tremble as this one rises. May the gaps of generations be healed as this one speaks, acts, and loves. Guard them with the shelter of purpose. Clothe them with humility and clarity. Let them walk as a living bridge between what was and what must be. Amen. Chosen one, receive this as more than words. This is ascending. You are no longer standing on the edge of wondering, you are stepping into the center of purpose. You are the gift time has given to this generation.